Obviously, there's more news from Trump yesterday. Tariffs on Venezuela, oil, and autos and pharma. Let's just have a look. So he's imposing a tariff on anybody that's buying oil from Venezuela. And this is because of the Venezuelan gangs and stuff that's been reported to show up in the U.S. And yeah, and it's cheap oil too. So how do you get rid of a cheap seller of oil? Yeah, you put tariffs on them. Trump says he will soon announce tariffs on autos, aluminum, and pharmaceuticals. Now, he was at a Hyundai opening in, I think it was Pennsylvania, or Louisiana, sorry, and he was talking about some of these imposing tariffs that are coming. Autos, we know that he's going to do something there, and I think it will have an impact on both Canada and U.S. on that as well. But what he did mention is Europe has moved down their tariffs from fairly high percentages down to the 2.5, similar to the U.S. Tariff on autos coming from Europe as well, and the aluminum's already on as well. Mitch Miller put this out, and interestingly, Powell was talking about this being transitory, and transitory happened in the COVID time. At least that's what they called it. And if this is going to be transitory, look out, because that's what happened in the late 70s and 80s. If it's going to follow the same trend. Susan Shroud put this out, and it's just interesting to see. She had one for corn too. If somebody wants it, I'll maybe pull it up and get it out as well. Just what the cost is with the additional 301 cost incurred. So you got the PMW and the Gulf to get into some of the major Chinese ports, but without the tax on there, it makes a big difference, right? So when you put that shipping tax, because the Chinese boats, really, that's what they're talking about there. Drought hit Morocco, extend wheat import subsidies to the year end. This is the only positive news I've seen on wheat, other than this is the only one. There's pockets of drought throughout U.S. and Europe, but things are getting bigger, not smaller, on that side right now. But it's early. It's the growing season is just starting, really. Palm oil falls, tracking other oils. We saw this increase yesterday, and now it's decreasing here as well. But there's quite a few more boats out there. And the crazy thing is, so you got the St. Lawrence way over here, Montreal, Searle, and Bay Como. Boats will come through, and it's not until it gets transloaded that you're actually going to see it on CGC data. You don't see it on the data when it gets loaded here. It's when it gets reloaded onto a Panamax over here, because it's just like a shuttle train, basically. And to explain that, it's when it gets exported to, landed or put into a boat that's going to go to another country that you're actually going to see it move. Canola's up a nice little amount here, $6.5 to $5 on the new crop. Rapeseed is up as well. Soybean oil just slightly down, so it's not big down. Palm oil is down a little bit as well. And then your crude oil is still up, and it's getting closer to that $70 a barrel. Your diesel fuel is up as well. Your soybean oil, or soybeans and the soybean meal, is down, and your wheats are anywhere from just slightly down to 3 pennies down, kind of thing. So on here, this is just the canola trade that if we were to get in, you can see what kind of profit you could take and the loss. So what you want to do is limit your losses, maximize your profit, kind of thing, just as an example of what possibly you could do here. So on the July, if you were to try to take that profit all the way to the top, which would be maybe a little bit more reasonable when you see how many times it gets there, but it's definitely reaching from way down, that's for sure. Rapeseed price is actually up 504, or closer, just bordering 505 euro. And what does that mean when it's converted to Canadian? It's $201 higher, more expensive than the Canadian canola. So the sooner those Eastern Seaway ports and loading of canola happens, the better, because European rapeseed is $201 cheaper, and it definitely will actually have a bit of a vacuum going that way for sure. Soybean oil, I'm still somewhat bullish here. I think if there's a play on one of here, there could be a play there as well. Palm oil basically still going really sideways. It's not, even though you show a little bit of red and green on there, but it's still pretty high. This, like I said, the crude oil's trying to encroach that $70 a barrel, and the same trend is showing up on your New York Harbor diesel fuel price there as well. Just interestingly, you can see Susan Shroud had put up this just the renewable diesel and renewable jet fuel, and you can see that we had a pretty good increase in the last couple of months. It's just fallen from grace. So if there's any policy, domestic policy that the U.S. is going to put in, no policy has actually done this. So yeah, there's a big drop off there for sure. Here's your soybean price itself. It seems to be following this downward trend, and so far it's not looking like it's going to recover or get out of that downward trend just yet. Soybean meal downward as well. Canadian dollar looks like it's just trying to trade this range that we have here. We're at the top end of the range at the moment. Wheat, bad day yesterday. Yeah, you can see that the short-term moving average is actually keeping pressure on it as well. And on the slow stochastics, it's not telling us to do anything there either. Although we're looking for a pullback, and you see it here. We're looking for the pullback down to the 582, and then go long. And this is just a setup of the profit if you were to follow that script there. Your red winter for the fall, and your Kansas or your Chicago wheat as well. Everything's following the same kind of trend. So corn, here's the setup for the market to go down. It's got to pull up a little wee bit before. And what I'm doing is looking at that one there. It looks like it there's a pull up before it goes back down. And if you wanted to enter in sooner, you might want to change your stop loss as well. But we'll just have to keep our eye on that one. That one's around the USDA report that's going to come out as well. So Darren Fesser, he actually looked at this on the continuous corn, and I think what he did mention is right there, the wishful thinking. You find patterns on the chart, and sometimes it's wishful thinking kind of thing, right? So anyway, live cattle, and I've got just live cattle and feeders here as well. But when you look at this, I would say this is a sell signal on both here, so short or buy puts, whatever. And again, look for this pullback, whatever that might mean. Change in sentiment. So whether that's it pulls down to the bottom and then goes back up as well on the slow stochastics. Same thing on the feeder cattle. It's a sell or a buy put. And yeah, that's all I have for you.